look at that. Perfect. We actually have that back on now. Thank goodness for closed captioning, which, everybody should have on their streams for now. But thank you for the heads up, Team OB. I appreciate you. Is everything coming through all right now? I know I've got some weird stuff with the music likes to cut out. Where is it? There's my cursor. Okay, cool. There we are. Okay. Yeah, we're still trying to figure out floating around the audio from one monitor to the other. This is my first time ever that I've had more than one monitor, so trying to figure out where the inputs are going and getting prioritized is a little bit of a challenge. But we're working through it. We're working on it. It's all good. Oh my goodness. Whew. But I appreciate the heads up. How is your week going? I hope that you're doing all right wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Yeah, I hope it's going well. Ooh, jerk chicken roti. You can't, no, chicken roti is unfuckwithable. As someone who has, Trinidad heritage, you get yourself some roti dal, maybe with some jerk chicken, some curried chicken, or some curried chickpeas. Get yourself that proper baking stone roti to go with that, and just you cannot beat with that. Like I said, unfuckwithable. From minor surgery but feeling fine. Right, you had your knee surgery, right? Well, I know it's one of those things where there's only so well you can expect it to go, but that being said, I hope that you are hitting that threshold of as well as can be expected, and as well as can be expected is pretty good and relatively painless. Black-owned. Oh, Caribbean tonight. Nice. I mean, Uber Eats still treats their drivers like garbage, but you know what? I appreciate that there's some local business promotion, and at least I'm happy that those local businesses, especially if they're owned by black folks, are getting some more business based off of this. So yeah, let's see. Oh, you had a vasectomy. Oh, okay. Well, either way, surgery is surgery. So everyone's getting. Well, I mean, I guess vasectomy isn't getting hurt, is kind of an elective surgery. But good on you for being responsible and getting the tubes tied. All right, so I think that I'm going to keep on checking in with chat in the secondary monitor, but I think that we're going to float on over to Bastion and pick up where we left off. I've done some updates to my graphics, so hopefully we won't be getting that little weird line of static we were getting, but we'll see. We'll certainly see. So we're going to just transition over. Boop-a-doop-boop-boop. And we'll take a look as to where we left Zolf and... Ooh, where's my... Are you not acknowledging my controller? How dare you? There we go. Okay. Continue. Perfect.
We darn near celebrated when the kid got back, didn't we? Zolf never thought he'd see a fellow or again. We become fast friends.
Oh, there's the static. That's interesting. I've never run into that on another capture before.
But there was more to be done. There was one last core to find.
Come on, no. You acknowledged my controller before, so you should be acknowledging it now. Where are you? Do I have to unplug this again? I think I might have to unplug this again. Defaults. Where are you? Confirm. Controls. Where's my controller? There we go. Okay, there's my little guy just running through. Alright, let's get out of studio mode so that I can make sure to have this all put up. Alright, let's talk to Zolf. It's also nice to be able to not worry about what am I covering up by this, by the various different windows and everything, because I can always float over and take a look.
The scientific journal written in Zolf's native tongue. He learned so much from it. Too much.
I turn... There should be captions. Oh, did I how did I accidentally turn the captions off? There we go. There we go. Why don't I...
If only I'd known half the secrets of the Calamity were tucked away in that book, I'd have worked to translate it right away.
Alright, cool. I think that we're off to a good start. So, if you don't recall, last time I was getting
a bow
my
ain't much good in
ass
the crowd,
totally kicked.
but a musket sure is.
Now, I think, what have I got for Dread Rum, Stray Fragments? We're gonna go, do I already have Hardy Punch? I don't yet. Health Tonics Fully Restore, and I'm gonna need to upgrade to that. Where's my lunkhead? There we go.
If you're feeling low, count on the buttery flavor of our own Bastion bourbon.
So something I just learned today is that the gentleman who does the voice for the narrator in this is the same person who does the voice for the titular Hades in the game, which was pretty sick. I'm a big VO nerd, so I love to see it happen. Oh, hey, look at this. We got ourselves a bot in chat, so we're just going to take care of that real quick. Boop, bye. Later. Cool. Alright. Back over to Bastion. Sied. Back over to Bastion. There we go. Whoop, no. Minimize that. There we go. Okay, cool. Uppercut attacks cause knockback. Defend with a bullhead shield, then attack.
Ain't never letting go of his
like
old
that.
friend with a sturdy grip like that.
Upgrade the bow. That doesn't suck, but I need more money. I need more dollary dues. So I think what we're gonna do. Those are those things. I have the shrine. Ooh, Zia, right. Ancient spices from the melting pot. Even this stuff was.
Most of the Ura never got a taste of Ceylondia's fine goods, unless they were born and raised in the city like Zia here. Girl tried to run away from home one time, but the marshals stopped that, didn't they? So many secrets in there, and she can't even read it. Her father's own journal.
So, I talked a little bit about this when we started playing the other day, but stories about colonialism and things like that are very kind of tricky because they should absolutely be told. But this would be one of those scenarios where I'd really like to find out the composition of the team over at Supergiant when they were putting all of this together. Because there's a lot of kind of the story, deals with, let's be 100% honest here, effectively a genocide and, oppression of specific ethnic groups. So it's always kind of tricky to handle that sort of thing, especially when, depending on if you have a composition of a team with people who are members of marginalized groups or people who have experienced oppression. So it's one of those, I'll definitely be observing it as we go through the game, and I'd be very intrigued to see what the makeup of Supergiant's team was when they initially made Bastion.
The Breakers. Ain't no one can outrun them. Or their arrows. The Marshals kept the city's peace. They can rest easy now.
Alright, we got all that money. I don't hate that at all. Alright, so the bow, reinforced, target penetrations, draw speed. Let's see. Yeah, we just got big.
His bow's looking lean and mean like a prize fighter.
Alright, let's see. Oh, wait, I haven't even returned the core yet. That feels silly.
Kid's surprised when I tell him there's only one core left. I shouldn't have believed it either.
To we have a lot of fragments just drop somewhere? What do we got? Well, we've only got one shrine left, so.
Behold the Pantheon.
Foes shall have vengeance in the throes of defeat. No bonus, no bonus. Interesting.
A Kobe.
Interesting. Okay, so that's really cool. Because for those of you who have played Hades, you also have the mechanics of the Pact of Punishment. So this is kind of your challenge mode. And, you know, I've played through this game before. It's one of my old favorites. But it's interesting to see it in the perspective of future, maybe refined iterations of what they've put here.
We track the final core beyond the city to the wilds.
Let's, Bullhead Court, but many tried. Why don't I... You know what, let's do story. What's going on today?
The wild unknown. Place can eat a man alive. Place is so raw, even the Calamity couldn't cook it. Not all of it. Know what's better than having a slinger pistol in a fight? Having two. Savage things lurking at every turn. Good thing pin cushions can't see where they're shooting.
That's real true.
Pecker's got the core, like they're building a bastion of their own. The welcoming committee scrambles to attention. Didn't expect the kid so soon.
Of course they replaced me, but...
They shouldn't have let their guard down.
Alright, now bad stuff.
Getting that core was one thing. Getting out's gonna be another. He digs his way out of the clearing, but the wilds won't let him go without a fight.
That's where I came from. I have two long-range
Wallflowers survive the Calamity. Best take it real slow when pincushions are afoot. By now, kid's got more needles in him than a stab weed. Don't ever turn your back on a pincushion. A handful of windbag shipments made it out this far. Slinger Jawson's old outpost is all that's left of him.
Yeah, scrap musket.
Kid sticks to his old standbys.
It's so cool to kind of see how all the fundamentals are still there.
Kid's roused up half the wild by now.
Floaty, but
Then kid gets the feeling he's being watched. Not by me, by a lunkhead. And lunkheads ain't fond of two-legged animals. Hit him anywhere but the hindquarters and you only make him mad.
Let's take that.
The Wild's already reclaimed this place. Leave it to the kid to make time for stomping swamp weeds.
You know what, narrator? I don't much care for this ass. Whoop.
Wild green vine apples about the only good thing out here.
Oh, I seem silent compared to the game. Okay. Let's see here. Is it a little bit better? Well, no, that was completely silent, but I can turn up the gain on my mic a bit. Let me just pause here. How's about that? Let me know if that improves a little bit. We're kind of I'm trying to go just barely into the yellow here. So we will definitely see if that helps. Yeah, I don't want the gain to go up too high. But I think that should do it. Maybe move myself a tad bit closer. Okay. All right.
He's anxious to get back.
Is there not something here I can grab? Looks like a lootable. Okay. Yeah, Harold, let me know if that has improved
After all,
things a little bit here.
he's got the final core. His journey's over, right? Well, no. It ain't. Not by a long shot.
Yeah, I've been trying, like, when I click over to...
Kid knows something's up when we ain't there to give a warm welcome. See, Zolf and I were just wrapping up a heated discussion. Zolf can barely muster the words. The calamity failed, he says. But I will not. And with that, Zolf leaves us here, alone.
Okay, so that's not working. Let's see... How about that? Boop-a-doop, boop, boop. Does that help at all? I can maybe try and turn down the game a little bit in comparison to my voice.
Zolf cursed the city, cursed the Bastion, cursed me, said he was going home. When Zolf got through reading that journal, he just snapped. Started smashing up the monument until I tried to stop him. Zolf banged up the monument pretty bad. But there's a way to put her back together.
Okay,
The
yeah.
shards.
I'm not entirely
We're
sure
gonna need all of them to nurse the
what to
Bastion back to
do
health.
in that case. I've got my mic almost maxed out. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what to do in this situation. I can try a different setting here. No, I've got it set with the usual stuff that I do. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Because I also don't want to peek it out. So I'm going to probably leave it there. Let me know if you straight up can't understand what it is that I'm saying. Let's see. Forge, something greasy, ammo capacity, bullet scatter, and I don't have anything for my existing stuff. Because I got 50 range, 50 spread, damage. I might try doing that challenge level again. Yeah, because I got
Kid takes
messed up
another
last
drag,
time, but I also
goes
didn't
out like a
have
light.
the skills that I have now, so.
There's something you should know about the kid, but let me take it from the top.
Alright, let's go with this one more time. I have some long range stuff now, so this might be a little bit easier, hypothetically.
The past catches up with the kid. Hardly had a moment's rest since all this started.
Ugh. Oh, jeez, I didn't even realize he was
Fair
still
to say
alive.
he's led a hard life. Supposing what he says in his sleep ain't no lie. He never knew his old man.
See, this is going
but he
much
was
better
hard
than
to
it did
take
last
care
time.
of. Frail thing with pure white hair like his.
So... Okay, so I've turned down the game's audio a little bit. It's barely coming through, however. So let me just... Whoa. Or at least it was in the audio menu. That might be... Settings. Oh, wow, yeah. The music got put way up. So why don't we... And I'll leave the narrator and his glorious voice alone. Can't fuck with a shotgun.
Having his mama's hair did the kid no favors while he was growing up. But he learned to hold his own out there.
Stop shooting your goo at me.
School ain't working out, so the kid signs up for a turn on the rippling walls. Make his mama some...
I don't have my trip mine. That's interesting. Ugh, okay. Not cool.
Thanks to folks like the kid, the walls kept Ceylondia safe from whatever's out there. The elements, the Ura,
Okay.
you name it.
And you're just leaving a snail trail. There we go.
Once the kid done his time, he hurried on home. Turns out his mama's time was done too.
This one done. Now for... Can I not target you? Oh, you're still alive. You're just tiny. There we go.
The city had nothing for him. The money he'd been sending home was nowhere to
Don't,
be found
well,
either.
you know, falling off of cliffs are generally not a good idea. God, that draw speed improvement is so money.
So what'd the kid do? Why he went right on back to the walls for another 5 years?
And I mean, the mirror shield thing is just like Athena's thing. Like the whole deflection thing. Oh, okay. Yep, I'm gonna try to not die rather than demonstrate all the skills. Thank you.
In the history of Caelondia, nobody's ever volunteered for a second shift on the walls. Out there, a kid learned to fend for himself, learn to build, learn to break. In time, the kid earned good standing with the marshals. They trusted him to scout out farther than anybody.
There we go.
One night, on one of his expeditions, the ground beneath him shuddered, cracked, and split apart.
I might just have to power shot all these. It's funny because if you look at the baseline enemy archetypes in Hades, the wretches, the louts, and the numbskulls, they track pretty much right to, you know, these big hammer boys, the windbags, and all of them. Because we got one, like, buff dude, we got one, like, chonky lad, and then we got, like, the little, like, thing that charges you. Oh, no, I don't want to die. There we go. Come on, one more time. Alright, there we go.
All the kid had to work with was his hammer and the clothes on his back.
Oh, you just... Alright, bye.
Through twisted streets, he ran with nothing but the city crest and an old stranger's voice to guide him.
And it also, yeah, it goes to show you that you don't really need a whole lot to make, like, a compelling gameplay loop. Oh, okay, alright. Yeah, the ground is going away very quickly, and I don't much care for it. Okay. Could we not, maybe? Could we not?
Will it finally arrive at Caelondia's vaunted safe haven? He and no one else.
I mean, I'm just gonna stay over here and shoot you if that's entirely okay with you. Okay. Yeah, okay. That's I see that you clearly have a problem with that proposal. There we go.
But then, all they got was more thankless work from a man who ain't even asked his name.
Try and kill all of you before you spawn. That's the strat here. There we go.
May be the one who dreamt up the walls and the Bastion, but the kid made him real, not me.
Oh, you fucking... God damn it. No. No. Don't much care for it. No. No, I do not. All right.
I like to say I'll never forget him, or what he's doing, what he's done. I surely would.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's... I never really reflected on that. I'm very curious as to what it means. I think I have vague recollections of the ending of the game, but I don't want to super spoil that one just in case I'm correct in what I think it is. Okay, so I have money now. I think I still need to be able to level up to get the next thing. Counter blocking, health tonics, return. Yeah, okay, so I do.
A sip of lunkhead liqueur will toughen you up. Too bad it's like drinking a saddlebag.
I do think that I'm gonna go with the trip mine, because that's a solid choice, pretty much always. Let's see. So I can go after Zulf, or I can try the shotgun one, because I do want to get some more stuff for the shotgun. Damage, shots cause greater knockback. Yeah, we're gonna go greater knockback. And I don't have something to upgrade that, so okay, cool. We'll try and upgrade the shotgun.
The city brought the shards to the wilds. Now the kid's gonna bring them back.
Let's try that one. Yeah, it holds up. It feels a little dated just from the smoothness of the traversal and things like that, but it's still solid. Okay, so what direction do I want to try and aim all of you? I'm gonna try and get as many as possible. Alright. No, can I? Now this is one thing that I feel like is a little bit dated in most games, is I can't easily switch targets. I just have to kind of hope that the ones that I'm nearest are the ones that I actually clip to. But then you also get like some kind of weird interactions like that. And this one's just dead in the middle, so bye. Yeah, and then do that, and then these ones over here. Oh, and you're still... You spy. You suck. Alright. Oh, I did get them. Okay, cool. That doesn't suck. I'll go back and probably upgrade that then. I definitely didn't think that 15 was going to be short enough to not get it. But yeah. And it's interesting because it's like... The stuff that ages poorly is not bad design so much as, well, okay, that's not entirely true. The stuff that ages poorly is more like trends of how most games did things at that point in time, rather than like stuff that was always bad, but like they decided to do it anyways, I guess. Let's see something coarse. Reduced penalty to long range damage, faster reload. That one's fine. I'm just gonna
To master the musket, you gotta get rid of the recoil.
spread range, and we're gonna go damage versus enemies, I think. Because I've already done the bow. The Jowsim Baug. Let's try the Bullhead Cord again. That one's going to be probably pretty challenging, but deflecting shots is always pretty fun. I just need to figure out the actual, like, timing of everything's animations. Come on. Thank you. That was interesting. What? Yeah. Oh, 2 at once. That doesn't suck. Okay. Damn it. Didn't get him in time. Come on. It's like right when they start to vibrate. See, the faster ones are almost easier. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I'm not going to get that gold prize this time. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I wasn't going to get it that time. All right. One more shot. If I don't get it this time, we'll just move on to other story stuff. And, like, they don't do a whole ton of complex stuff with the animations. Like, if you've got a good core gameplay loop, you can make a lot happen. Okay, now you two are the ones that ruined my day last time. There we go. That's a little better. Really? I didn't get that one? Okay. And you're fast. Yeah. Alright, come on. Thank you. Come on. Yo. Oh, there was one over there. I didn't even see him. Okay. I forgot how fast you are. There we are. There we are. Okay, cool. So now, how far do you go? Because you're off screen. Yeah, dang it. Didn't... I think I need to take no hits. So, yeah. 3 hits or fewer. Okay, okay. It's a real bastion of cool games. I'm alright. You know what? We do okay. We do go okay around these parts. Honorian, how are you doing tonight, my friend? I hope that your week is going lovely and you are playing many lovely games yourself. How are you doing, my friend? Thank you for joining us this evening. Let's see here. Yeah, we're going to do story stuff, I think.
After Zolf's little episode, Kid sets off in search of shards. First stop, Jawson Bog. You'll get lost in that bog, I told the kid, and I won't be able to guide you back. Well, I let him go. What else could I do? What could any of us do? Zolf put us in a real bind. Hurt the Bastion bad.
So, one thing about doing kind of a top-down three-quarter view design is you get weird stuff like this, where this could be a bridge, but it also goes down. It's like, if you've ever made... Oh,
they're like smaller doses of the core's medicine.
If you've ever made D&D maps, for instance, there are certain ways of doing it, but it plays weird tricks on your eyes. I'm glad to see that they've kind of figured it out a little bit more. Like, you can kind of mitigate this sort of thing by having stairs to actually show the declination of, like, height. But stuff like this can be a little bit confusing in terms of, like, is this straight down? Is this a slope? Is this, like, ups, downs? Is this traversable? And it's just kind of a hazard of a particular style of aesthetic. It can be overcome, but it can be a little bit tricky. And, like, if you have a whole bunch of stuff firing at you at once, it can be a little bit of a source of frustration. Slightly confused by what today turned out to be. Oh, well, I hope that everything's okay. What did today turn out to be?
Shame the only place to fill that prescription is out here in the wilds. This place is intoxicating.
We about to get high as fuck, yo.
Don't know where he's gone. Might be gone for good for all I know.
So, I want to take a second, because that loading screen wasn't up for long, but I think that it's significant to address what the little bit of lore there was saying. It's like, the wild surrounded Caelondia, tempting it with its riches. And I think that we have a lot of games, but basically, there are a lot of games that place exploration as an appeal and into the wild unknown and all that sort of stuff. However, especially when we're talking about games that have themes of colonialism and things like that, the idea of there being the wild unknown and there being no civilization there and this ideal of, untouched by humanity, it's tricky because in real life, whenever we talk about the unknown wilds and discovery, there are almost always indigenous people who are getting kind of forgotten about in that narrative. So the idea of like, oh, well, the wilds are just out there for us to take their riches is like, it's very kind of, I'm going to claim what's mine, and the mindset of ownership and the right and kind of this manifest destiny sort of thing, it's a very kind of like thing that will sneak up on you that you don't really think of as problematic, but it can definitely be when you think about who is not being talked about in that narrative. I'm going to check in on chat because I see a thing. Thought today would be an average ho-hum day. Instead, Trapped more or less told me that he could beat my ass in a fight. The conversation ended with me getting more support than him in all surrounding conversations. What? Oh my god, dude, what is he even talking about? Dude can't beat obscurity. What is he gonna beat someone in a fight? It's like you had one song, dude, and after like people were like, you know what? Limp Bizkit, I'm kind of tired of them. What do I have? I need to have like a more boring version of them. Like once WrestleMania went by or any kind of things, and then you ran out of like half-baked action movies. What's he gonna do? He gonna do absolutely nothing. That's hilarious. Trapped is a band that I heard when I was in high school. It's like white dude hair gel jaw rock, like, you know, all of those sorts of things. It's yeah, that's quite a bit an unnecessary band at this point. It was mid 90s angry. I'm 3 days grace, but I don't even really have that sort of band. So that's hilarious. Like the thing that they're known for is generally being like, you know, oh, Black Lives Matter is like, I don't get why these people are supporting them. And it's just like, well, it's funny because no one asked you, neither about this or about your music for the last 10 years. So, like, go sit down. Like, oh my god, there's another episode of, like, House Hunter for you to watch. Just irrelevant. Oh my god, that's so funny. For just, yeah, no, that. I mean, it speaks to the quality of support that folks like Proud Boys are able to get that featuring Trapped. Really? Really, dude? Was like Scott Stapp busy? Like, oh my god. That's so funny. Alright, cool. Anyways, enough of dunking on Trapped. Oh my god.
Wherever he is, somewhere I've never been. Somewhere I never want to go.
Nope, spiky eyeballs. Nope, don't like it. Don't like it. That's a fever dream. It's a bad trip, yo. Gonna try and not fall off the cliff. Siren.
The dead welcome him with open arms.
Well, that's creepy. Oh, okay. Okay. Sir, personal space.
That a survivor? No, ma'am. It's a lonesome ghost of a gas fella.
Go. Hoop.
What do you say to a kid who's seen too much? I'm Zolf of Ligura. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Now the kid sees something stranger still. Did anybody else survive? Sure enough, he finds peckers, lunkheads, wallflowers, pincushions, vine apples, swamp weeds, ankle gators.
No, okay, alright, cool. We were just gonna have a good time here. But you had to act brand new. Huh, okay.
Now the Bastion can send him even farther into the wild unknown. Kid sets foot inside one of Ceylondia's famous watering holes. He has the nerve to flash.
Oh, that's a biggin. Can y'all just shoot this, please? Thank you. Just deflect all the things. Oh, wow. Okay, it took me out in one hit. Cool. Cool. I keep forgetting that, like, my damage bonus from deflecting it actually gets added to the damage if it comes back and hits me.
Kid succeeds where the calamity failed.
I'm not gonna hit him. I don't like hitting the, like, dead people statues. This seems mean. Seems disrespectful. Or you could force me to do it, I guess.
Would you look at what he did to poor old Ronnie the bartender?
Ah, screw you and your The Last of Us 2 guilt trip.
Beginning. It's so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world's all right, snoozing there on a rock in the sky. He wakes up. I'm just fooling. He sees what's left of the rippling walls. Years of work undone in an instant. He sees what's left of Pith the bull.
I mean, okay.
The gods, they're all undone. He sees what's left of his lifelong friend.
I mean, I will shoot you.
His friend, he's come undone too.
Interesting.
He sees what's left undone.
So, speaking of cool narrative devices, I wasn't really sure because I remember that there's a hallucination type thing throughout the game, or at least in that area of the game, but I didn't think about, like, what it represents at this point in the narrative. And specifically the idea that, like, okay, so the kid's kind of sowed all of this destruction and he's trying to pull it back together and then having it pulled back apart again. And this idea that, you know, okay, I'm growing and I'm becoming more powerful because I'm leveling up and I'm getting all of these weapons, but the majority of my time in this game is spent killing stuff. So kind of turning it back on the kid and his, I don't want to say sanity, but mental health in general, is an interesting idea because we don't talk about the wages and the cost of transforming in games, because you talk about something like in D&D where you gain more and more power, and that's where you get like the RPG horror stories where you talk about players who see themselves as the protagonists but then, like, you know, threaten and intimidate shopkeepers because they can and they're effectively gods. So this whole idea of that power will change you, and the fact that you spend most of the game solving problems with martial force will also change you, is something that's a lot of the time uncritically accepted, save for in games like Spec Ops The Line, or one of the things in the game that I work on Unconquered, is this idea that you will become less human as you become more powerful and more wealthy. And in Unconquered, we do that in a quite literal sense, to where you will become closer to being a god, but it is not entirely something that you're sure that you want, because you will stop caring Dr. Manhattan style about things like compassion and caring about your fellow individual. So it's interesting, even if it's a little bit maybe incoherent, I might say, that Bastion was at least dipping their toes into that sort of reflection, in terms of that previous section here. But yeah, just an interesting thought I thought to have. Okay. I cannot dodge in this ordinary campsite. That needs more ore, because I already packed it. Wood. Alright. Gonna pack some wood. Is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna start a campfire? Cool, cool. Good to know, good to know. What about something else? What's going on here? Get some water? We gonna sleep? Is that what we want to do? Yeah, okay. Like that feels a tad bit unrefined as a mechanism. But, you know, I'm not going to hate on a developer for trying something. And as a reminder, this is Supergiant Games' first game. Like, that's ambitious, if nothing else. And there will be some things that it succeeds at and some things less so. And I think it's interesting and important to kind of reflect on both.
The shard ain't lost either. Not anymore. Now to find a ticket out of this hole.
Alright, so is this...
Back, just in case you missed something.
No, nothing there. Did I miss something? Nope, doesn't look like it. Alright.
Bootlicker stick their nasty thorns into his heels.
Come on, you're dead now. You can't grab me. That's not cool.
Ever heard of the lung blossom? It's bigger than the stories say.
No. Cool, not cool, not cool.
Scumbags sprung a leak.
Yeah, please, heal, please. Thank you. Heal, please, thank you. God, that is horrifying. Why does it have teeth? Why does it have teeth? I can't even see a health bar.
Whiff of lung blossom can make you lose your mind. Well, a kid prunes it down to size somehow.
Does the flower have teeth? That's not cool. That's not cool at all. You know, Hera, you have never mentioned how much you love the Dante charge. This is a new thing. For those of you unclear, Hera very much loves the Dante charge blade from Monster Hunter. Okay, we got some more stuff over here that probably would have made that fight a lot easier, but I'm a dingus and I didn't grab it, so there we go.
Mother only knows what happened in the bog. Kid never much cared to speak of it.
Hello, Sophia. How are you doing tonight? I hope that you are having a lovely evening. As usual, we are very happy to have you join us in your midnight watch before you go to bed. All right, let's start repairing this.
A few more shards like that, and we'll be back in business. A single shard can breathe new life into this place.
All right, what do we got?
Shards got enough juice to spruce up any of these places. The arsenal's complete in case we need protection.
Immobilize foes in the user's vicinity. Okay, I'm gonna stick with my trip mine. However, I am gonna get more booze. Now, what else do I want to get? Stray fragments. 33% speed when defending.
Hearted punch is so zesty, it'll let you carry on through the worst of times.
See, is there anything in the... That's the memorial. Where's the lost and found? Whale Ale, using secret skills, stab synth. Okay, so we'll go stab synth.
Finders keepers.
I don't know what that one's going to be for, so let's see. Yeah, let's go to the distillery. Carry on defeated. Damage surrounding foes if defeated. Okay, yeah, we just got survivability over here. That's fine. Alright. Yeah, I know. He's so little. This child either... I mean, he's the kid, he's an adult, but it's just like, you are not 21. Do not try and tell me you are 21 because you are lying. Let's see. So what do we got here? We got something sharp, something nasty, Graver Slash, Dual Decider, Final Warning. Yeah, we'll go Final Warning. That's fine. Fang Repeater, War Machete. Let's get some story stuff. Alright, let's talk to some people.
Sure, the world's all gone to pieces farther than the eye can see. But leave it to this gal to point out the amazing view.
Yeah, he'd be 31 and still be small. Yeah, he could be rocking that Edward Elric situation there.
I tried to let the kid down gently. This is the Bastion, alright. Except no one else showed up. We could always see the stars. We just never could reach them, no matter how high we built.
Alright, so I think I've built everything that I can right now. Because I've just put that there. I don't have a prompt. Okay, cool. So let's...
The city tried to use the shards to stake out the wilds. So much for
I
that.
really want to get that, but I don't want to waste all y'all's time here. I might try the scrapyard, though. Because that one I seem to recall we could do some cool stuff in. Well, let's see. What mods do I have for the hammer right now? Something heavy. Oh, I need more money. All right. Let's see. That's just damage. And we'll go uppercut attacks. So I'll get some more money. I'll come back here, and then we'll try and do the proving ground for the hammer. All right. Let's talk about the Rothus Lagoon. Let's see.
Ankle gators used to roam the wild.
Yeah,
Nested at Rothus Lagoon.
the isometric designs, it's, I don't know, are you someone who's played Hades there, Hera? Or not Hera, Sophia? Because that's, so, this is the same people who have made Hades, so it's interesting to see that some of the art is really cool, but then some of the ways that they've refined it so that though it looks cool, it doesn't get in the way of traversal and making informed game decisions. I talked a little bit earlier on in the stream about that. It's not super bad, pun not intended, but it is kind of something that you've seen maybe like refined a little bit more in subsequent titles. Yeah, you want to shoot me with stuff, I know.
All kinds of beasts would don't know up from down.
God, shut up. Birds.
These beasts, they don't like company.
There we go.
Even the brushers learn to fear this place.
Got more turrets.
Only the city's brushers knew their way around the lagoon. quick and quiet, and they struck hard.
And you can kind of see the secret skills, the way that they're formatted in terms of, like, this one is your, like, deflect everything skill. This one's your decoy. You can kind of see the same structure and format amongst a combination of the, call for aid of the different gods, as well as your chthonic companions in Hades. Because, with the sneaky decoy, you have, like, spoilers for those who are in Hades right now, but there's one that you can get that does that. The mirror shield in this is pretty much the same as Athena's call, and kind of, it's interesting of, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. To just, once again, it's always a process. It's never quite, you don't make a game out of whole cloth, even if the game is completely different.
I think that ankle gators were extinct. Well, they ain't.
Well, that's
Been living in the tall grass.
that's a big boy.
They called her Queen Anne.
Cool. That's terrifying.
Turns out Queen Anne got a hold of a shard. Ankle gators love shiny things. The lagoon's got plenty of other dangers, of course.
I'll take those, thank you. Oh, geez, that's an onion right there.
Worse than an ankle gator's breath. The stinkweed.
I'm just gonna wait for your fart clouds to maybe dissipate just a tad.
Ain't time for pecker hunting, but the kid can't resist.
Listen, it's XP. You can't fault me for going after that. It's free real estate. And there's the spear! I seem to remember the spear was super fun.
Use their pikes to keep their distance around here. Now the kid can do the same.
Okay, not cool.
Can't hurt an ankle gator unless
Come on.
It's raining, and it ain't raining.
Okay, so does that mean
Sticks
that...
make Queen Anne nervous,
Okay.
so she backs off a bit.
Oh, I don't have my long range thing. Okay.
Place like this.
Deflection it is. Alright, come on. Come on. There we are. Perfect. Aces. Or I could just do this. Okay, you know what?
He's got a mean
There we go. I'm also going to heal, because why wouldn't I heal? Oh, okay. Alright, sure. Come on. You going to shoot me or what? There we go. Do it! Kill me!
Those pin cushions been living off the ankle gator scraps.
So they're carnivorous, but they don't have mouths. Good to know. Oh, wow, stinkweed. Alright, cool.
Queen Anne
Whoa.
can't fit down some of these narrow paths.
Okay, Oh, wow, that reload takes a while. Alright. Alright, just walk around the farts. Walk around the farts. Okay, cool.
Queenie leads the kid into some kind of twisted trap.
Ow.
One bad step in that tall grass and he's Queen Anne's lunch.
Oh, we got iframes. We got iframes, gang.
He holds his ground. Seems
Come on.
The Queen's running out of options.
There we go. Alright, we're gonna have a turret over on that little island as soon as I walk by.
The
Or
closer
not,
you get to
okay.
an ankle gator's lair, the thicker the tall grass grows. Kids gotta make a run for it.
Cool. Alright, bye.
Those leaping lunkheads don't like Queen Anne any better than the kid.
Ow. Alright, yeah, that was half my health.
Queen's got
Okay.
one mean bite.
Okay,
That's
alright.
ankle gator country for you.
That's cool. That's super cool. They really do not, like... Even if it's just a little touch of the grass, I'm just screwed the moment that I touch it. So, of course, what I'm going to do is this. Can I actually go? I can't get through there. I'm tempted, but I'm not that tempted. All right. Oh, yeah. No, we're just gonna go real quick over here. That's cool.
Peckers out of hiding.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It's good. It's cool.
Ankle gators don't much care for their young. That's why there ain't many around. Wanna know how to find an ankle gator lair?
No, why would I want to know that?
Kid is bait. The shard's sitting in plain view. Now she's coming for him. She's got nowhere else to go.
Yep.
He's got it. And now to finish her off.
You say finish her off.
She's starting to get annoyed.
I mean, this is less irritating than the Lung Blossom fight. I like her little surprised facial expression, though. Die! Stop it!
And now he's made her mad.
Quit it, it hurts!
Rest in peace, Queen Anne. That was for the brushers.
Today's Queen Anne voice was brought to you by Bobcat Goldthwait. Come on, one more time. Thank you. Alright, let's see if there's any goodies lying around before I take off. Ah! You suck. Really? Okay. I'll take another black tonic. Alright, back to the Skyway, and back to checking out chat.
Needed to be done.
Oh yeah, you can fall off. You don't automatically die, it's more of a Sekiro thing where you take a certain amount of damage. But yeah, absolutely you can fall off. That's actually one of the weaknesses of the 3/4 view. If you check out the VOD from Monday, I'm actually doing the arena, and when there's part of the floor that falls away, there's a statue in the middle of the arena, but the piece of the floor that falls away can be behind the statue, so you can run behind the statue and just fall through, but never actually see it. So it's kind of one of those things that in the intervening years, it clearly looks like they've refined the formula a bit. But yeah, you can absolutely fall off.
All that trouble for a single shard. But you know what? It was worth it.
All that for a drop of blood. Alright. So we can do foundation. We can get more distillery. Let's see. What do we want to do? Because I've already got that. I've already got the trapper snare. I want to upgrade my weapons some more. 2 additional upgrade tiers, unlocking the full potential. Yeah, absolutely. We'll do
Ain't
that.
said much, but that's the greatest forge in all the city.
Okay, so yeah, I still don't have enough money. I mean, it'll also take a lot of money to do it. Alright, so what do I have for this? I still need more money, good lord. Alright. What does Zia have to say?
That gator's a crazy gal, but so's the gal who promised to look after her.
Aw, baby ankle gator. Hey, buddy. Aw, that's adorable. I love it. I love it. Oh, that's very sweet.
They said Queen Anne was just a folktale. Now there's living proof she ain't.
Okay, so what do we got over here? Because we've got the sneaky decoy, flurry of projectiles to rain down on the area, and yeah, we've got all of the usual stuff. So I need, basically I would need to have my, we'll go final scrap salvo. We'll go final warning. It's always good to have an AoE, I think. Breaker's bow. Let's try the scrapyard. We'll try and do the Kale hammer.
The city's unwanted things all met their end in the yard.
Alright, so basically to try and break the most amount in 100 objects, basically. Alright, and go.
The quicker they worked, the sooner they could go. Work in the
Oops.
yard did have its risks. Folks learned to plant their feet and put their backs into it.
Okay, yeah. Now it's just time for me to go ham, I think. Come on. So I've got the damage bonus, so...
Of course, to navigate that sea of junk.
Because this one's coming back to me, because I seem to recall...
Had to work real fast for the finest prize.
So I can get a little of that, but I do need more money still. 40 seconds or less, okay. Let's try it one more time, because I kind of wasted a bit of time on that.
The scrapyard for old time's sake.
Alright.
Worked too slow and all you got was a sore back.
Come on. Whoop! There we go. Oh, that's kind of cool. The stab synth applies to when I actually... when I take fall damage too, which is kind of cool. Come on. Come on, 40 seconds. There we go. Something wrong. Right. And then 27 seconds. Okay, cool. So I just need to upgrade something in order to get that. Kale hammer. It's pronounced, it's weird because it's pronounced Ceylandia, so technically it should be sail hammer unless told otherwise, but it's never said in the game. And I think Kale, like the Gaelic name Kale, like the main character in the movie Titan AE. So yeah, no, I don't really know what the actual thing is. Yeah, I don't have enough money. So what do I have equipped right now? I have my musket and I have my bow, so... Alright.
Know how Ceylandia became the richest city in the world? 2 words. Point Lemaine. If the wilds could ever be tamed, it was gonna happen right here. But now, the greatest outpost past the city line is nothing but a freak show. The Army's triggers once had the place on lockdown.
There we go. Ah, yes. Now I remember this.
Might as well pick up where they left off. Blam.
Right.
Just
Sniper
like
rifle.
these.
Yeah, I remember this now.
Need to put the wilds in check.
This might replace my bow. There we are.
Point Lemaine seen better days for sure, but it ain't done.
I mean, or I could just do that. That probably would work a lot faster.
The Grand Rail of Point Lemaine. Not only is it still there, it still works.
Ah, one of these.
Of course, it's no longer shipping hides and alloys and spices, but it can give the kid a lift.
Back. Back. I don't like you.
Just as long as it can stay clear of the trouble on the tracks.
Come on, shoot me again. Okay. You know what? You're off screen. That's not cool.
Everybody chewed up and spat out. Things eager to take back their turf.
I really don't like how they will give you a new weapon but not give you the option to not replace your current weapon with it. Because, like, I have 2 long-range weapons right now. This is a terrible setup.
Kid lets a few of them slip by.
Okay, apples? Thank you. Okay, okay. Alright. That's not super cool.
Wiggle room up there near the rail.
Come on, do it again. Yeah. You gonna do it again? All right.
Zealandia lost many good men on the rail.
I really dislike that. There's like some of these fringes don't actually count as traversable terrain. So that makes me a little bit salty.
Takes fancy footwork on the rail, what with wallflowers, coughing fungus everywhere.
There we go. Can I... okay. Because I'm just gonna have to not go for power shots. There we go. Not doing anything. There you go.
Place used to be closed off, but now it's split open like a rotten pineapple.
Nothing over there. Guess we'll continue up here.
Of course, the Grand Rails see much more fighting in bygone times.
There we go. Yeah, and that's the thing as well, is some of the secret skills are tied to a weapon. So if you happen to have a secret skill equipped, when the game forces you to switch weapons, then you also don't have a secret skill that you can use. So that's not ideal, I don't think. Come on. Alright, I'm just going to move away, and then I'm going to shoot you in the face. There you go.
It was right here that Zolf's forefathers decided to mix it up.
There goes all of the crystals they dropped, too. That's not cool.
Okay,
Alright.
so maybe we didn't get their sign-off on the whole Grand Rail thing. That was bad. The rail must have shook the Ura to the bone down in those dens of theirs.
You do it again? Wow, no music here either. Interesting.
Well, the rail won't last much longer now that the kid took the shard. It's still got one good run in store for it, though.
Yeah, come on.
All the rotten wood there on the rails turned it into Swampweed Central.
I'm just gonna shoot them until before they get close.
While choking on Swampweed. While Pecker's trying to prick you in the eye.
You do it again? Come on.
Well, let me tell
Nope.
you,
Alright, cool.
it ain't fun.
Well, there we go. Alright. There's a lot going on. Okay. Okay. Come on. Come on, logs. Come on, logs. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna get hit by that. Alright.
At last, it's the end of the line. He'll be picking Swampweed out of those boots for days.
Alright. Oh, this is not my favorite level in this game.
Turns out he's got company up at the rail station.
Yeah.
Not just another wallflower or pincushion, mind you.
Another long blossom. Well, let me heal first, I guess.
At first, he thinks it's Zolf. Turns out he's wrong. This is for you, says the man. Then wham. When the kid comes to,
That's not very polite at all.
gone, but something else is there.
Appears to be written by Zulf, who must have found another Ura survivor to deliver the message. Native language to be able to read
The
this.
only
Okay.
words the kid recognizes on that parchment are for Zia. Well, what's a kid to do? He took the shard, he took the hit, and he took that note. That note cuts straight to the heart of things, don't it?
Alright, time to check in chat. Sailhammer, Gavel on auction, yeah. Fall down the abyss, so are you, yeah. So this one, it's real tricky because there's acknowledgement from the narrator that they were like, yeah, no, we went into their place without their permission and built the rail and everything, so they retaliated. So there's a bit of, well, okay, uh we understand that like we did something bad, but they still it's not they're not entitled to do all of this bad stuff. Like there's sympathetic villains, but it's still the Ura kind of being the antagonist. Like there's this weird sort of dance of ethics that's going on, and it could be the sort of thing where if you kind of had a commentary on when, where, the other, and that sort of thing, it's real tricky to that you have to be really clear about what your kind of your stance is and the portrayal of something, because even if they're saying like yeah, the aura had reason to be upset, but then the remainder of the game is with them still being like the villains of the piece, then at the end of the day they're still the villains of the piece. So it's very trepidatious to try and pull that narrative unless you do have individuals on your staff in decision making positions who are people who have dealt with similar situations. Like there's a lot of things having to do with like a lot of kind of shades of the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and a lot of kind of the conflict between Israel and Palestine that are kind of reflected in this sort of narrative. Um, and yeah, I mean, even me broaching those subjects is already very fraught with risk. Um, so any kind of even kind of analogy to that, because you look at just kind of the aesthetic of like the means of dress of Zia and Zulf, and kind of the use of the traditional pipe, and just kind of a lot of these allusions to specific cultures from the art style, even if they're not said explicitly, there is kind of like an implication of being influenced by these things. And when you're influenced by real world events, especially those where people faced oppression or even slaughter or any of that sort of thing, it's you got to be real sure that you're handling it in a way that's responsible, as well as just the other questions of quality of making a video game. All right, let's talk with Rux here.
Zolf's messenger was one of his people. Wondered just how many of them survived, and what exactly Zolf told him. Finding gourmet ingredients ain't easy these days, but we'll take what we can get.
Yeah, and the sealed
note
note.
says it plain. Zia, go east to learn the truth about the calamity and our people. I'll be waiting. Sincerely, Zolf.
And yeah, I think Hera and Sophia, both of you are kind of touching on what the situation is with this, in that there's a lot of there are bad people on both sides sort of scenario with this, but I would also imagine that someone playing this who is a member of marginalized people, specifically non-white folks, would also read this as like, listen, like if I'm Native American or First Nations or Black or something, and then someone's like, well, okay, maybe we did this first, but they shouldn't have reacted in that way. It's like, listen, dude, you were the one who came over and started doing all this sort of thing and forced us to respond. So this is a very different narrative to us than it is to you. And that's kind of the thing that I'm trying to grapple with as we're playing our way through this. But yeah, it is kind of a hindsight is 2020, pun not intended, sort of scenario.
It ain't too late to unlock the potential of this place.
All right, say, yeah.
The memorial may be finished, but our part is far from over.
All right, so we got lots of different things that we can do. So, how much money do I actually have? Because I might see... I do have enough to upgrade the hammer. Okay. More force behind every swing, critical hit damage, uppercut attacks cause knockback. That actually wouldn't help me. Defend for a few minutes, then attack. Longer grip that gives superior leverage and power. Okay, so I think what we're going to do, because we have 10% critical hit chance. Alloy shaft. And we'll go, because we might do health tonics, stab synth, because there's one 10% critical hit chance when we're at full health, because we can put that in, and when we're not facing enemies, we can absolutely just take advantage of that. And then we might just go to the scrapyard.
Cool breeze. Just don't go spitting needles everywhere. Kid arrives just in time to sample Zia's famous cooking.
Is it gonna stop me if I go here?
The shards are getting harder to find.
Okay, let's go to the scrapyard one more time and see how that works out for us. Alright, upgraded hammer, let's go.
Always plenty there for smashing.
Okay, so we got an AoE here now. Interesting. So yeah, I'm not going to get that prize this time, but... So let me reset this, actually. Because we can skip that, and if I use the block with the focus attack... So you can also go for bigger objects. Oh. Well, hey, look at that. I'm trying to remember how I did this last time. Because I've 100%ed this game before. That might be something for me to figure out off screen. Alright, cool, whatever. We'll just finish this off. Because I don't think that I can just quit out of it. Yeah, because there are all these little objects around here that if you miss, you'll just... Well, you'll miss. Alright, back to the Skyway. Because there's also another sort of... There's also another narrative to be deconstructed about the... Like, the gas fellas and, like, kind of the gas bag things of just, like... The game very uncritically lets you just kill these things. And they're all different creatures that are sentient in different stages of life. And it does this very somber talk about the loss of life and killing each other and everything. But then, alright, so squirts are adolescent gas fellas. And, you know, all of these other different things. So it's just like, okay, so we're going to have you uncritically kill children. And, like, you know, older and then possibly the elderly as well. But then we're going to also have this very kind of somber narrative about making choices where people lose loss of life. And it's kind of the whole thing about, like, the same way that we discuss fantasy species, like orcs and things like that. And going, like, all right, maybe we need to reflect a little bit more on what it means when we say it's okay for you to kill these people in a game, but it's not okay for you to kill these people in a game. Like, it's a long-standing dialogue that I think needs to be had, sort of thing. Okay, so let's see. We got, what do we got? I think I've still got my scrap musket and my bow. Can I upgrade my rifle? Because if I can upgrade my rifle, I might do that. Something fancy. I don't have any money. Okay, cool. Cool. We can do that. Culford Cauldron. Oh, right. This is kind of the volcano-ish type area. All right, Harry, you're heading out for the night? That's all right. Thank you very much for dropping by. As usual, I appreciate you, and I hope that you have a lovely evening.
Why, Colford Cauldron here blew up way ahead of its time. The cauldron boiled over some 300 years ago. They say it filled the skies with ash and the lakes with molten rock. If you wanted to survive something like that, you had to learn to adapt.
Alright. Oh, okay. I don't know. Don't shoot your flower goopy at me. That's rude. I dislike that significantly. I can't even actually go over there, can I? Alright.
So, in a way, the beasts of the wild...
Now, can I deflect that is my next question. Are you gonna shoot me? Come on. Yep. Oh, I can, but I can't shoot it back at you. Interesting. There we go. Perfect. Alright, come on. You guys are going to spawn. When are you going to spawn? Thank you. Oh, we got booze. They get all self-conscious.
It takes a certain stubborn pride to keep on living in a place like this. As for us, we learned an awful lot from Colford.
Oh, right. I was wondering when we were going to get to this, because I remember this weapon.
The raw power of the world fell right into our hands.
No. Now, this is a cool weapon. I really enjoy how you're able to alter the environment with this. And at the same time, you can also injure yourself with it.
Playing with the cauldron's fires became an addiction.
Oh, those actually hurt. Interesting. I did not realize that. But I also don't have my thing anymore.
Can't fault our people for their natural curiosity now, can you?
I mean, you kind of can. You kind of can. You blew up the world. I actually don't have like a long range thing right now. That kind of sucks.
It's awful hot in there.
Can you please be on fire now? Thank you. Okay. Nope, that's just the end of that, I guess. Alright, and I'm out of... Oh, because I replaced my freaking thing with something else. I feel silly. Please, go away. Oh, and there goes my... Dang it. I'm gonna totally just... I'm gonna beef this level. Yeah, nah, I'm screwed. Yeah, we're gonna go back to the Bastion. I forgot to change my loadout back after we went to the scrapyard, so that's on me. Okay. Let's take a look here. Doop-a-doop-doop-doo. Caracal in Honorian's chat that had an idea about a tabletop RPG where you played people who had lived under an overthrown colonialism that had been in effect for 2-3 generations, going to historical sites and finding lost artifacts to piece together the lost chapters of their culture's history. Yeah, I've had discussions with a couple of different people about that. Unconquered is very much based around that. Because it is sort of all right, so instead of going to the place and stealing stuff and looting sacred areas, let's do the opposite and say, like, okay, we're going to steal the stuff back from museums, put it back to where it's supposed to be, and generally, like, do the reverse, essentially, undo the damage. And kind of find the scraps of those stories that have been lost. And I'm very much about that. And yeah, I would like to see more of that. I would like to see it, basically.
One thing's worse than the heat in Colford Cauldron. The smell, like rotten eggs.
All right. So,
Cauldron boiled over some 300 years ago. They say it filled the skies with ash and the lakes with molten rock. If you wanted to survive something like that, you had to learn to adapt.
There we go.
So in a way, the beasts of the wilds, they're all survivors too.
I mean,
Best
yes.
to keep out of the cauldron. It takes a certain stubborn pride to keep on living in a place like this. As for us, we learned an awful lot from Colford Cauldron.
We're gonna play.
That learning
Yeah.
led to some interesting inventions. The raw power of the world fell right into our hands.
Just go away, please. Thank you. It does take a while to reload, huh?
Playing with the cauldron's fires became an addiction.
There's something that I'm beginning to notice about this. The narrative in this game kind of seems to want it both ways. You know, we want to talk about the dangers of, doing these sorts of things and experimenting in weaponry and all this sorts of stuff. But it also wants to say that this is a human thing and not a specific, colonized sort of scenario. And I feel as though it is not really engaging with the dynamics of power that are inherent in that kind of conversation. And that is not unique to Bastion in any way, shape, or form.
A good many secrets out here.
But it is something worth noting. That is something that you can improve a situation if, when you make a game, you have people who are better used to living in those sorts of, living on the receiving end of those sorts of dynamics.
The unforgiving scent of sulfurous dirt.
All right. Go away. Go away. Stinky flower, go away. And you're all gonna spawn and chase me in a second, so...
Taste the air so hot it sticks to your lungs.
Alright. There we go. Go away. Go away. No more stinky. Go away. Let the stinky go away. Thank you.
cook those things, but you can't eat them.
There we are. Perfect. You gonna shoot me? Yeah, of course you're gonna shoot me. Perfect.
Never thought we'd find so much life in all that ash.
Cool.
The more ash we swept aside, the more life we found.
There we are.
Place as inhospitable as they come.
Goodbye. There we are.
But still we pressed on. After all, when we look down inside Colford Cauldron,
Ow, ow. Okay, fine. I'll use the flamethrower. Good lord.
we kept on sifting through the cauldron's secrets anyway.
I might end up regretting this, but going back to the Breaker's Bow. Gonna try to not step on thorns or anything. I am indeed gonna regret it. Okay, back to the fire bellows. There we go. We'll do that. There we go. Just get rid of all that. You're gonna shoot me again. There you go. Perfect. Come on. Thank you.
Look down through all the smoke and flames.
One more time. There we go.
We saw in there the heart of the world. The heart now laid bare by the calamity. We had to have it. As for the kid, he just has to get that shard out of there.
Yeah, yeah.
Too bad taking that thing woke up every last stink eye from here to Jocelyn Bog.
Well, I will check up in chat once I have fewer eyeballs trying to kill me. Whoop.
Kid's thinking he's got to trek all the way back around the cauldron.
That is indeed what I'm thinking, yes.
Luckily, the cauldron cooked up a little shortcut for him.
By the cauldron, we
Sure, it
mean
ain't
game
the most
developers.
convenient path.
I'll take it, though. Could we not? Could we not? Could we not? Poopy, don't give me your poopy water.
Biggest stink eye he's ever seen's waiting for him on the other side.
How much health do you have? There we go.
Where there's one
Oh,
stink
right.
eye,
Ugh.
there's always more.
See, this is another one of these things about the way that the top-down view has. Some of this terrain can harm you, but with the way that the palette changes when you interact with it, it can start blending in with the rest of the textures. So I've had a few of these different kind of instances where precisely that happens. Come on, yep, please go away. Thank you.
Tears for him, though.
And that's gonna explode. There we go.
With a good spy
Uh-oh.
glass, you can still see the cauldron from the city.
Yeah, screw it. Let's go back now.
But all the fires died out. There's nothing left of it.
All right, checking in on chat. Oh, look at that. Thank you very much for sharing the emotes there, Timo B. That is very kind of you. Let's see. Tried to bite off more than they could chew by approaching these themes. I do. It's one of those things where I don't think that there was any malicious intent by doing it. I do think that the people who were trying to make this game did want to have a conversation about these difficult themes. But there is a special kind of skill in knowing when you may be out of your depth. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't have the conversation at all. But it is the sort of thing where that's why you hire cultural consultants, like myself or like someone else closer to the culture that you want to portray or be inspired by, or historians or sensitivity readers, and all of these sorts of things, to where I think that the intent was there and I think that it was in earnest. But I do think that this is one of those scenarios where the game could have benefited from a more diverse and equitable leadership in terms of different kind of narrative structures, because right now it does kind of feel very wants to have its cake and eat it too, and wants to say we're having this difficult discussion, but we don't want to maybe turn off that people by being too forward about ideas of colonialism and things like that, and the idea of going, no, we were absolutely the bad people here and this is all awful, but like we set this off when we did this. And I kind of understand that, because once again, in the context that this is Supergiant Games' first game, I can see that being something that you want to be afraid of, because this could be like, oh geez, this is a make or break sort of scenario. But through kind of the lens of retrospect, you can kind of see this whole where it could have benefited from those additional perspectives, I think. But then, yes, also, Timo B, thank you very much for sharing the emotes in chat. That's very kind of you, and I appreciate you. But thank you as well for the question there, Nine. Which, by the way, how are you doing today? I hope that you are having a lovely week. And if it was a less than lovely week, then hopefully we can improve it for you in the little bit of time we have left. Let's see. Oh, and Sophia, all right, that's one gift sub over to Sophia as well, and I hope that you enjoy it and return to us at such time as that concludes for you. Let's see, monuments. What are we gonna build up this time?
Charm. You can hear the monument's heartbeat again. We're all a little short on friends these days, so that...
Hey, little birdie friend. Yeah. Hey, buddy. Oh, look at him go. He's just having a little adventure now.
They said the wild could never be tamed. If only they could see us now.
I also think that there is an interesting dynamic to the fact that the latter half of the game, when you're finding these shards rather than the cores, that you are going through the wilds of the world, and on one hand, the game is talking a lot about how you're looking at the consequence of mistakes and ill decisions that the Ceylandians have done, but at the same time, there is what we call, in terms of a fancy $10 word, ludonarrative dissonance, which is the dissonance between mechanics and story. And basically, there's this idea of talking about, we were wrong to invade and take these resources and destroy things, in the exact same level as they give you a fire bellows and they say, burn it all, Davey, like just go through and wreck everything while you're doing it. So there's this, it's saying one thing but doing another, which is a problem that a lot of games run into, whether tabletop or video games. Let's go to, let's say, the distillery. Alright, what do we got? Life wine, black rye, black tonic capacity. That could come in handy. Actually, I don't want to replace that with something, though. Reduce damage from falling, 200% damage falling on foes. That's not bad. In fact, you know what? I think I'm going to replace my stab synth with that.
Fallen malt is filled with crunchy minerals that'll keep you safe out on them rocks.
Outhouse, huh? Must be occupied. Did we get anything new? No, I think it's just noticing that we have the fire bellows now. Still gonna go Breaker's Bow. Okay. Let's see. Up to end up attending the stream. Ludo narrative discourse hype. Oh yes, I can totally see that hashtag catching on. Okay, so what do we got here? We have something foul, something pointy, greasy, heavy. I don't have enough to upgrade that. Overhead attacks can stun. And then all of this stuff is locked. Something fancy. 30% speed while aiming. That seems like it would come in handy. Because I might... Well, we'll look at that later. I wonder if... How much time do we have? We got about 25 minutes left, so I think that maybe we can do... oh, Pike Vault. Right. Whale Ale... the Lost Mementos.
Culture. A still
Nice.
life of old unwanted keepsakes.
Enough experience to reach level 5. I think we're almost there, actually, so we might be able to complete that.
But this is something he's done on his own. We spotted a pecker carrying a shard to Mount Zan.
Oh, interesting. I think we're going to see, I think either this is the last level or the second to last level. So this is going to be really interesting.
Can't rightly call Mount Zan the mountain anymore. There's no more mountains now. There's no place left for
Oh,
the beasts
come
of the
on.
wild to go.
Okay, yeah, no, you know what? You all, no, not cool. Ow. Can you, oh, why do you all hate me?
Those beasts been hoarding all the valuables they could find.
There we go. I'm just gonna blow them all up, apparently.
We only found their little lair because they found themselves a little shard.
There's so much brush and scary things. Okay. Can I not shoot you? Okay, cool. I'm all stuck in your roots and stuff, aren't I? Come on, thank you. Alright. There we are.
The creatures of the wild, they've been building a bastion of their own.
God, I love the acoustic guitar in this game. I really, really do. More acoustic and flamenco guitar in game soundtracks, please. Please and thank you. Come on. Just more damage. More. All of the damage. Okay.
The best thing we can do for those beasts right now is put them down quick and clean.
Is it? I don't know if that's true. Because they seem to be doing out here just fine. See, this is a really good example. So, the 3/4 perspective thing, this is not traversable, this little mushroomy looking thing on my left, and this is. So, with certain tweaks to textures and the use of stairs and things like that, you can smooth that out. But this is kind of a perfect example of the terrain maybe being less or more difficult to deal with that. Okay, another new
There's
weapon.
only one kind of mercy left these days.
Cool. Like, do y'all kind of know what I'm talking about in terms of the game kind of seems to be humming and hawing and going back and forth to, like, war and destruction is bad. Here's a mortar, and it's impossible for you to, like, have something beyond that. And it's kind of like, all right, so what do you want me to think of this, dude? Like, go back to my bow though, or to my shotgun. Scrap musket, thank you.
The
Gramophone.
city left behind.
For real though?
Beasts took themselves.
And is this another path? Nope, that's a dead end. This is also a dead end. Okay. So it looks like I'm wrong. This is not quite the end of the game yet. You gonna hit me again? Yeah, cool. That's what I thought. There we are. Yeah, you just blow up like that. There you go.
Look at it this way. It's either them or us. But if we win, they win too. Our Bastion is everybody's gain, not just ours.
You understand, Rux, that you are talking about carnivorous plants right now, and not like people. They're like, they don't know what's better. It'll be good for them too. It's like, that is a tulip. It is a tulip that wants to eat you, but it is a tulip. I'm not entirely sure that you're gonna okay, cool. That works. All right. Can I actually break something over here? Nope. See, that is below the level that I can reach. Interesting.
Unfortunately, there's no explaining that to a simple beast.
Yeah, there's some major colonialism vibes here. Like some real, like kind of like Teddy Roosevelt, like Mexican or Spanish Civil War type stuff. That like, listen, it's better for everyone if we're in charge. But, these people, they don't understand that. So we're just going to have to force them to do it. And it's like, you sure about that, boss? You sure about that?
They've rounded up their survivors, just like we have.
Come on. Let your farts dissipate. Thank you.
They've been searching for cores and shards, just like we have.
Have they? Just like you? I'm not sure that's true.
Maybe they've thought about turning back, just like we have. We just really need their shard. Kid got it fair and square.
Hey, boss fight. Alright, cool. Alright, there's a lot going on. Alright, there's a lot going on. Okay, why are you... Seriously, the proximity mine is not going off? Okay. Yep, I know. There we go.
That's the way. He's done what's best for him, don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Let's see. the old westerny aesthetic they're going with, and sad and regrettable, but that's what happens when you embrace a certain aesthetic without examining them. Yeah, and it's real tricky because acoustic doesn't necessarily mean old westerny type stuff, because if you look at like some of these things, like, okay, we've got our saloon and we've got our kind of looking, and this is interesting because this is when you start getting into things like speaking with someone who has a background in architecture, for instance, and understanding that there are different aesthetic movements that are associated with geographic locations and different countries and things like that. Because you do have, like, you've got old Rux and he's got his kind of old-timey, westerny type storyteller voice. And you've got your twangy, cool guitar and things like that. But then also you've got some of these things that if you look at some of these buildings, they're like very kind of the distillery kind of looks like it, like very kind of European style. Like you see the battlements on top of it. You've got some of these things like the forge kind of looks a little bit more like I don't want to say Arabic, but like, Asia, if not East Asia, like kind of South Asian inspired. And a lot of these different things have a lot of these different influences. So depending on which one you're looking at, it's not necessarily assorted. And kind of what you were saying there, Nine, is that picking something when you say, well, that kind of looks cool, but then not really kind of picking up on the significance of all of these different things as they line up and tell you about a certain narrative. All of these things contribute to the narrative, especially since you are participating in it, and a large part of that narrative will be told through your casual observations as you go through and engage in the core gameplay loop. And I think that a lot of the time, well-meaning creators will make these decisions and go, oh, that seems really cool. Yeah, totally go with that. And maybe not entirely consider how that will affect the baggage that a particular stance will have, as if they had, or then if they had picked a different aesthetic or a different acoustic or a different style or pacing or anything like that. So yes, that is a very good point. Let's see here. One more shard in the monument.
Better. Zolf sure did a number on it, though.
There's also the possibility and the fact, well, not the fact, but the possibility that you are being told that the narrator is an unreliable one, which is valid. And you can definitely make that reading as well if we're looking at it from a literature standpoint. But by that same token, even if you have an unreliable narrator, if that narrator is the only narrator that you have and everyone else is silent, then by virtue of the sheer volume of information and by that being the only voice that you get to hear, it still increases the influence and the persuasiveness of whatever this person is saying. And that may very well be just an odd artifact of the fact that Supergiant Games, when they made this, probably had a much smaller budget than they did now and couldn't afford a lot more of these other voice actors to tell their story rather than having these little items that we're looking at now. But after the fact, when we look back about these ancillary effects that they're having, that they affect the narrative and the perspective in ways that can be unexpected. All right. Player found on Mount Sand. Is it all right if we use this here?
I suppose it's true a little song can put things in perspective.
All right. So we've upgraded everything. Let's go to Zia.
Fix that thing right up, didn't we? Made these goings on a little livelier.
All right. So I think, because I have another like set of reflections and things like that I think I can go through. Or did I just, can I not go back and do that because I skipped it? Oh, that kind of sucks if that's the case. Still no outhouse. God, really needs to go, but he can't, because outhouse. I'm still not level 5? I'm like right at the edge of the XP bar. Let's see. So the foundation to the shrine, the lost and found.
You need an awful big lost and found under the circumstances.
Turret surprise. Security turret hardwired to defend the user. Deterrent against privateers. Breaching bullet for the army carbine. I've got a lot of money right now, though. Bull brandy. Damage resistance. That doesn't suck. Let's see. To turn zealous after defeating a foe. Gain plus 200% damage for 3 seconds. Interesting. Leech aid. Gain some health by striking foes. 66% health tonic potency. Interesting. Counterbalance. Okay, that's going to be really useful. Okay, we're getting some interesting stuff now. Well, here, let's see if I can, because I do want to upgrade the carbine if I can. Which I do have plenty of money. Speed while aiming, bullets cause knockback. Well, I mean, I can switch back and forth. Can I buy something fancy over here? I can.
It wasn't fixed. It was unbroken.
Alright. Might grab some Mender Mead. What do we got here? Reinforced chamber, faster reload. Disperse and reduce downtime. Yeah, sure, let's try that.
It's a precision instrument.
You know, Rux, you are starting to sound like a Silicon Valley marketing person, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. Army carbine, scrap musket.
No more fooling around. Time to roll out the big guns and get this over with.
Let's see, we got about 8 minutes left. Everything is story, and monitoring what elements contribute in major and minor ways really important. Yeah, I think precisely because, say, if we're watching a movie, then you are being told, usually in a relatively direct fashion, what these kind of different perspectives are in competing. And you can analyze things like how much screen time something's being given, how different perspectives and the people who deliver those perspectives are portrayed. But primarily, because you are a passive participant in the story, you will much of the time be told something. When you are an active participant in the story while doing these sorts of things, all of the things that surround your gameplay loop have an enhanced effect and an enhanced amount of influence. Because if you think about the amount of dialogue in a video game, apart from just like barks of NPCs and things like that, there is far less in the way of explicit sort of back and forth and that sort of thing than, say, there is in a movie. Now, the scripts will be much longer, but that'll be offering for things like redundancy for NPC barks or, these little things that kind of come up. And so you then think about things like Dark Souls, where you have item descriptions, or you think about things like Bastion, where the aesthetic tells the story. The manner of dress of your different NPCs tells you the influence of different cultures and the analogs that they're meant to be portraying in the game. And all of these things kind of come together in a much more significant way just by virtue of the fact that you spend a lot less time talking. So yeah, it's valuable to kind of look at them. Oh my goodness.
Ceylonia's army only took the best, and the best of them trained on Trigger Hill.
Alright, I think I generally recall this. So I'm probably going to do horribly the first time as
Nothing
usual.
beats the feel of shooting a Ceylonian army carbine.
Alright, where are you?
Sometimes you had to take care to steady your shot. The triggers had clearance to modify their guns however they chose. Some felt the course was too easy, so the triggers spiced things up a bit. Takes time to be a fast shot. Go figure.
Okay. So I didn't realize that the explodey flowers were actually targets and not impediments, so let's try that one more time before we take off for the night.
Then the place to go.
But yeah, I'm curious what people's thoughts are about this game, because I know I've been spending a lot more time talking during this episode than perhaps I did in previous ones. But I do think that it is, it's worth talking about, whether or not kind of, you're talking about intent or impact or kind of the combination of all of those things.
I had to keep moving to avoid getting burned. The kid ain't bad, but the triggers were better.
So when's the next prize? 35. Oh, I was 2 seconds off? Really? My pride cannot let that stand. I'm going to do it one more time. All right. Army carbine. All right, let's go. No, didn't get that one. Crap. Oh, 1 second off. That's painful. That is painful. Let's see here. See, what's the new D20 season? I am super excited for Unsleeping City Season 2. Unsleeping City is my favorite Dimension 20 series, and the fact that Orion is back and working on that makes me super, super excited. Also, the fact that they managed to integrate maps, because I am someone who has a lot of trouble keeping track of numerous visual elements in my head. So Theater of Mind is something that has very limited possibilities for me.
All that shooting.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. All right, so I think that on that note, then I'm gonna wrap up for tonight. I hope that everyone has enjoyed this revisiting of Supergiant's Bastion. I think there's still a lot to like here. There's still a lot of kind of, when I reflect on the amount of options you have for the distillery, the weapons, the upgrades, and things like that, there's a lot of depth and replayability that's worth going back for it. Right now, I think it's about $17, but it usually goes on Humble Bundle on a semi-regular basis. I would recommend picking it up. It's still a very good game, and it's also very educational. And I hope that my taking a look through it was also educational for folks in the chat and for people who came along with me. And that hopefully it helped you in deciding, if you're someone who designs games, what you wanted to put into your games after the fact. And even if you're not, gaining a greater appreciation for the number of different factors that go into making games like this. So, I think what we're going to do, because I know that our good friend Pleasantly Twisted is spending a solid Friday night as usual. I've seen she's playing something that I don't think that I've heard of before, so I'm very intrigued to see what that is. So I think that we are going to go and raid our good friend Twisted tonight and give her all of the love because she's been dealing with shitheads all week, and generally have a good time playing games with her. So, I hope that everyone has a lovely weekend, be it work or play or otherwise. And you take care of yourselves, and we will see you on Monday. It went well. There's still the audio for the game is still going silent when I click over to the other window, and that's including with it being in borderless window mode. So I'll have to futz around with some settings to maybe keep that from happening. I'm gonna ask Nova about it because she's used like Streamlabs OBS a whole ton, so I might troubleshoot with her. But overall, it went pretty well. It was way nicer not having to like look around the stream and chat elements all the time.
Yeah.
And that definitely made gameplay smoother. There's like a weird, like, line, like graphical line. Oh, holy crap! I didn't realize it was that loud. Oh, also, the game does not auto detect a switch from controller to a controller to keyboard switch, but I'm also thinking like a lot of this stuff is very like based in the age of the game, because it was what, like before 2010, because yeah, like that was one that was like before there was widespread support for like putting a PlayStation controller on a PC. So that was, I remember it being a massive pain in the ass trying to get that to work properly. So it might be that like when I switch over to a game that's more recent than Bastion, it might not even be a problem.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely see though.
I come across some stuff where it's free and open source.
Okay.
Essentially it acts as a digital mixer for all of the sound sources on your computer,
Okay.
and then you're able to route it has its own sound output, which then OBS could pick up as just a normal
Right.
sound thing.
Okay.
And then you'd have to control the different gain levels.
Gotcha. Well, I know that, like, well, you know what? Send me the link for it, and I'll take a look at it. Because I know OBS has its own sort of thing like that.
Yeah.
It's just, I would actually notice when I would click over from the game to OBS, even on OBS, it would tell me that the thing was going down to 0 with, like, the game audio. So it was pretty much like if the game wasn't priority, it would just like drop it down to 0, which I mean, from a design perspective, makes sense. It was just kind of that thing of, oh cool, here's this nice little like soothing acoustic thing. Oh, and it's gone now. Oh, and it's back. Oh, and it's gone. Like.
Yeah, were you playing it mainly on your new one?
No, I was playing it on the left-hand screen and then doing chat on the right-hand one, just because that's kind of where we ended up when it came down time to actually stream. But
I don't know if you saw, sent a message on the messenger. It was just a link for you can continue.
yeah.
It was just a link to the software basically for the monitor.
Okay.
So it should be some software that will let you basically those more like display settings we were fumbling with.
Yeah.
The thing on the back. You'll be able to do that, but with a mouse.
Okay. Cool. So it'll just be like an on desktop, on board sort of version of that. Okay. Cool.
Also, in the AMD thing, you want to turn on the I think it's called like the Catalyst overlay or something.
These people and their fucking names for shit.
Gaming.
Yeah. Catalyst, red, X. What the fuck does it do? Just tell me what the fuck it does. Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot what it is.
Damn you, gamers!
Yeah, no, sorry. So that'll allow you in a game to hit a key combination, and the overlay will come up, and then that will allow you to turn on and off resync, and make sure that those settings are on.
Gotcha.
It basically allows you to directly interact with the GPU settings without leaving the game.
Perfect. Okay, that's awesome. All right, I will definitely take a look at that. Let's see how Twisted is doing tonight. All right. Boop.